Welcome back to another episode of the Testudo Talk podcast. On this episode, we have another interview for you all. We're talking to Riley Nelson. She's an incoming freshman on the Maryland women's basketball team. She was their top recruit in the class of 2023, a five-star recruit, McDonald's AllAmerican, whatever superlative you want to use to describe her. I'm sure she fits it. Great talk about her recruitment, about how she's going to fit in on the team next year, a little bit of a preview on what the team may look like, how it's shaping up. So we'll jump right into that interview right after a word from today's sponsors. We are now joined by Riley Nelson. Riley is an incoming freshman on the Maryland women's basketball team. Riley, thank you so much for joining. We appreciate you coming on. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Excited to have you on. You're the top ranked recruit in the incoming freshman class for the Terps.
Mm.
What do you kind of imagine your role to be like on this team as a freshman? And what are you most excited about, to kind of get started here at Maryland?
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm just still trying to get acclimated. It's definitely been a big adjustment. High school is what much different than college. I mean, started playing 3-on-3 a little bit, and I was getting beat up a little bit. I was just adjusting to this new play style, to my new teammates, the physicality, everything's kind of different. So in terms of what to expect, I'm not really sure yet. I'm still taking it day by day. Just try to learn the offense, all at all positions. So I'm not really sure what to expect from me out of the season just yet.
Yeah, then obviously you've been on campus for a few weeks now. What have the first couple of practices been like, bonding with your teammates and just what has it been like the college experience getting a taste of that so far?
Yeah, it's very early mornings. So sometimes we're doing lift right into the basketball on court, or we're doing conditioning, or we're doing circuits. So it's an adjustment. I say getting to my teammates has been the most fun part about it. They just as much as they're beating us up, making me better, they're also encouraging me, they're pushing me. Like I said, it's a lot different.
What was that first moment like, when you first got your introduction to Maryland, walking on campus for the first time, maybe moving in, getting your first practice, whatever it may be? What was your first impression when you arrived on campus?
Yeah, I was actually here 2 weeks before, like, my actual move-in day, just doing lift, and so that was just me and one of our other freshmen, Hawa, Allie was here sometimes Nay was working out with us, but it was very encouraging. I think the lift started off I did lift before, it was very similar to the lifts I was doing before, so I was just happy that it was similar, and I felt prepared coming in, but obviously, when you start to get to play, all that goes out the window, and you're by yourself and you're trying to figure it out. So I think that's where I'm at. I'm at my growing period right now.
Yeah, and then if you can kind of take us back, well over a year now, just during the recruiting process, obviously
Mhm.
something that's very important to Maryland
Yeah.
fans and coaches alike is, they
Yeah.
love to get that Maryland, that DMV talent. You
Mhm.
can take us, why Maryland, what influenced you the most in deciding to come here?
Yeah, as soon as I got here, you could feel it's a family here, and still playing here, getting started, I still feel that family atmosphere. That was the biggest thing for me, was feeling like wherever I was gonna go, that they actually truly wanted me, and that I was gonna be supported, and I was gonna have the right resources to, even when the ball stops bouncing, if I just wanted to pursue what my majors got right, I'm undecided, but whatever my major is going to be, that I was at the right place where they were gonna provide me with the right resources to be successful in basketball and in the academics. Like I said, like the play style here, it's something I want to play. They have offense that I want to play. It's very open. It's not very set play. You don't have, it's not this. You can move very freely, and that's the type of player I am. I like to move through like a 5-out offense, or a lot of cuts. Just being able to play basketball for real, just not just with the plays. But the family atmosphere was the biggest part of why I chose Maryland.
And that video of you committing to Maryland,
Yeah.
Brenda Frese is all
It was
excited.
in
She's
here
jumping up and
actually.
down
Yeah, it
screaming.
was in here. Yeah.
Yeah. What was that moment like? And just like kind of realizing your dream of committing to a
Yeah.
college team. What was that kind of
Yeah.
experience like for you?
The night before, actually, it was like 1 at 2 a.m. in the morning, and for some reason, I was like, "Dad," like, I woke up my dad, he was sleeping. I woke him up, I was like, "Dad, like, I think I wanna commit tomorrow." I can't I was coming We knew I was coming here for a practice, and I just felt I was like, "No, Dad, I think I wanna commit tomorrow." So on the car ride over here, they were just making sure, like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" She's like, "I'm sure," and we went through practice, and, like, they were asking me if I wanna talk to the girls, like, just to like, my dad was like, "You wanna talk to the girls just to make sure, you're 100%." I was like, "No, I'm 100%." So, I talked to the coach. I said, can we talk to Coach Freeze in her office?" And I was ready to commit. I haven't regretted it for a moment.
Yeah, and then I guess, you're Maryland's highest recruit since
Mm.
2020 now. Coming in as a five-star, is there some sort of pressure that you have with the expectations, and how do you kind of, levy those expectations, and what's the pressure you're kind of feeling coming into the season?
Yeah, obviously there's expectations on me, and obviously I do want to live up to those expectations. But I think the biggest thing for me is just playing my own game and not really worrying about what everyone expects from me. Just I think that's put unnecessary pressure on myself, in order to live up to the expectations that everyone has for me. But like I said, I'm coming here trying to play my game, trying to get acclimated as well as I can to the offense that we're running and to all the play styles that we're going to be doing this year. So I think just living up to my own expectations and what I have set for the goals I set for myself is what's going to keep me focused and what's really not going to distract me from all the other expectations.
And being a McDonald's All-American is, quite an honor to be bestowed on you, and you got to experience it. What was it like to participate in those events with, some of the other top recruits in the country?
It was great. I mean, I knew a lot of those girls from before just being at camps or like other like camps or interviews that we had, similar interviews that we talked about. But just reconnecting with those girls and obviously the top recruits in the country, it was very competitive. Practices were always competitive, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. We did a lot of 3-point contests, a lot of knockout contests. Practices were very loose. I think the West Side practices were the hardest ones. They were running sprints over there, while the East Side practices we were just playing up and down. We're doing 3-on-4 or 4-on-5 and the 2-on-3 drills. So, but it was a lot of fun. I definitely would do it again. Yeah, it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then what kind of player can Maryland fans expect to see from you, positionally, just energy
Yeah.
wise?
I think the position is kind of up in the air right now.
Yeah.
Um, I think I'm feeling either the 1, 2, or 3 spot. I'm not quite sure yet. I don't know what the coaches have in mind. But yeah, I'm gonna be a high energy player. Like I said, I like to shoot the three ball. So that's really I'm just gonna come in here, try to play my game, try to fit my game as best as I can into what the coaches have planned for me.
And what kind of coach? I mean, I know you're still getting acclimated a little bit
Mhm.
to Maryland, but what kind of coach is Brenda Frese to play for, and
Yeah.
what kind of aspects of that did you see kind of bleed through in your recruitment? That some of the things she was telling you.
Brenda keeps it real. She will tell you straight up what she expects from you and how you're playing. She told like every question I asked her, she told me with complete honesty, even if it's not what I wanted to hear or what I wasn't expecting to hear. She'll tell me what she expects from me or what she expects from my teammates or what I should live up to. But that was the biggest thing for me is her honesty, her brutal honesty. Whether I wanted to hear it or not, that's what's gonna make me better. But yeah, she will keep it real with you.
Yeah, Riley, growing up in Maryland, was there a Terp that you kind of modeled your game after or kind of looked up to? And now obviously being on the team, what
Yeah.
do you feel like?
Alyssa Thomas, you see she's killing it in the WBA right now.
Yeah.
Mercer Coleman was a big player. A lot of people tell me I play like Mercer Coleman. But Alyssa Thomas was one of the big ones I really looked up to. I still look up to this day. She's killing it in WBA.
Is there anyone in maybe in the current college game, or maybe just left the current college game that you were watching over the last couple of years?
Um, I would say I don't think I'm supposed to say this, but Caitlin Clark is a great player. Obviously, I'm be playing against her, so don't tell anyone else I said that. Now she's coming. You how your idols turn into your rivals, so it's kind of one of those type of moments. But yeah, but that's gonna stop now. That stops now.
No, for sure. And then I kind of, obviously you come into a team that has a lot of veterans, like captains like Brene and Faith. Is there a player that you've kind of, as you've come onto campus, that you've kind of asked questions, kind of tried to, familiarize yourself to get more comfortable with?
Yeah, my team has been great. Every question I asked them, they've answered. They've helped me to the best ability to up so far, how I could be better or what I could do better. And they give the expectations of what I should expect, and how I should approach things a certain way. But they've been great. They've had great advice for me.
I see, all throughout high school, AAU on your different high school teams, you were wearing number 4. Now you're supposed to wear number
Yeah.
12. Is there any reasoning behind that?
Actually, we just changed my number. I'm gonna be number 2 this season. But yeah, 4 was a big number that I had. It was retired here. But yeah, I'm excited to wear a new number. I guess it's kind of a new era for me. So I mean, I guess it's a clean slate.
Yeah, and then obviously, coming into a freshman in the era of kind of NIL and college basketball, sometimes it's hard, to get minutes and to kind of be happy where you are. What do you kind of hope to get out of a freshman season, to best develop yourself for the next few years?
Playing time is obviously the goal. Just to be on the court as much as I can. But even when I'm not on the court, encouraging my teammates and doing it whatever I can to help us, win a national championship. Like that's the ultimate goal. So whatever way I can contribute to getting us as far as we can into the tournament, March Madness tournament, close as possible to the national championship. That's what I'm gonna do.
You mentioned in some of your first practices, maybe you're getting beat up a little bit. The college game is a lot
Yeah,
different than the high
yeah,
school game. What's it like stepping on the court out there with some guys and maybe, or some girls, I should say, that you've
yeah,
been, watching on TV and stuff, and then, now you're up against them. I know you mentioned Caitlin Clark. That's going to
yeah.
be someone, but even in, your own locker room, just kind of developing relationships with those people. What's that like?
Yeah, all my teammates, everyone here was the best player in the high school team. And so it's high school is a lot different. It's a lot less physical. The speed is a lot slower than what college is. It moves quick. Just playing 3-on-3, I'm shocked by how quick it moves. You think you're prepared until you get onto a court with those college kids. They're a lot stronger than you. They move a little bit quicker. They know a lot more. They have more. They know what to expect. They've been here, they're more experienced. So it's just different, but they have guided me through it as much as, like I said, they beat me up and, they make me better. They do guide me through it and they're very positive. So that's really what has kept me going here.
Yeah, and obviously, once you get into the thick of the season, you'll have some, welcome to college basketball
Mhm.
moments. But have you had some maybe specific, funny moments that you've encountered so far just on campus of like, well, welcome to Maryland basketball?
Yeah, actually, there was a situation where I was closing out on Jakia, and she moved her first cut is quick. And I basically like almost like tackled her. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Jakia. I did not mean to do that. But that was kind of like my first like, oh man, like this is a lot different. Her first step is so quick. It was a lot different. And my teammates will tell you about that. It was just hilarious. I did not mean to. She didn't get hurt, but it was just funny. Like this is a lot different than what I'm used to.
I know your dad used to be a coach back in the day. What have you taken from him and what he taught you that, you're still carrying with you now on the court?
Yeah, obviously, I talk to my dad every day. There'll be times where I'm here and I'm like, Dad, like this is a lot different. I don't know where I stand. And he obviously, gives me that reassurance. He on not only is a coach, he's my dad, so he gave me that reassurance. But he just told me just to keep going. Like, I worked so hard for where I'm at now, and just that's gonna pay off at some point. And so he just said, just keep going and keep putting in the hard work because it will pay off. That's kind of the mentality he said to me from the day I started playing basketball.
Yeah, and then I guess one thing I'll add is, you come into a team that has, a good amount of freshmen in the incoming class. How has that, kind of helped you adjust and get a better comfort level when you have a couple of other girls that are also entering their first season?
Yeah, I mean, Summer's been here for a minute, so she knows that, she knows kind of what to expect now. So I've asked her a lot of questions, but Hallway and Emily, we're all in the same boat. We're all, still getting acclimated, obviously. But asking them questions, just like, how do you feel about this, and how do you feel about it? It kind of helps you just kind of keep pushing, knowing that you're not the only one going through, this change.
And, they're breaking ground, or they just broke ground on a new basketball performance facility at Maryland, right next to Xfinity Center. You're at least probably going to be there when that's done.
Yeah.
Was that something that was being used in a recruiting pitch to you? And how excited are you to, have your own standalone facility?
Actually, I think I'm just finding out about this. I think they mentioned it in my official visit. But this is like, seeing like the pictures and stuff like that, the markups. It's just super cool to see. I'm pretty sure it'll be done when I'm here. So I'm pretty excited for it.
And then kind of just to build on that, you mentioned Xfinity Center. How important was that to you? Obviously, growing up in Maryland, just having the opportunity to possibly play in such a huge arena with thousands of fans. How important was that for you?
Yeah, when I moved to I was 8 when I moved to Maryland, and one of the first things we did was come see a women's basketball game. It was versus UConn. I was sitting up, I think it was section 216. I was at the top, was touching the wall. And just to see that, just to see to be there and not know where I'd be now, and just always looking up to those girls and wanting to play Division 1 basketball, but I never knew I'd be here. I never knew it was a possibility for me to be here. So it's kind of a full circle moment, and I'm just super grateful for it.
What was it like playing at Xfinity Center in the state championship with Clarksburg a couple of years
Yeah.
ago?
Yeah, obviously that season we were undefeated and, we fell a little short in the state championship, but to play home for the first time, I thought was pretty cool. And everyone was like, you're playing home for the first time. I was like, yeah. Obviously, I was more worried about winning the state championship, but it just felt cool to be in the atmosphere for the first time.
I guess I think I got one more. Is there something that like one particular moment that you're most excited for this upcoming season? Is it a game or like just
Um, I'm not sure. I'm obviously looking forward to, getting to a Big Ten championship or, going really deep into March Madness. I think I'm most excited just to see experience that March Madness experience. Just be there. And I was there last year for the selection show,
Mhm.
but just actually be a part of it, I think is what I'm most excited for.
Well, Riley, thank you so much. This has been great.
Thank
We
you.
really appreciate your time, and I've enjoyed talking to you. Best of luck moving forward.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Riley.